Okay, and we are back. Okay, so hopefully it will like do what I needed to do, um, so that it'll catch the replay. But anyway, so tonight on this episode of Astrology After Dark, I'm going to be talking about the Pisces full moon lunar eclipse, how you can tap into this energy to help you to close out an old cycle. It does not matter where you are in your divorce recovery. Um, because full moons are a time of release, a time of letting go. And with this being an eclipse, the release, the letting go is going to be even more potent um, than what it would be if this was just a normal full moon. Okay. And Pisces energy, it is water energy. Water energy is an emotion is emotional energy, and so this is going to bring deep emotional cleansing, heightened intuition, and spiritual surrender. Okay, so it's going to and with this being an eclipse, is going to be more intense, more lasting, and it's going to bring sudden endings, breakthroughs, and revelations that you definitely did not see coming. Okay, so um, we're going to talk about how to embrace all of the changes and everything that's going to be happening so that you can step into a newer, more aligned version of yourself. Okay, but real quick, before we get into it, if you are new to me or to the channel, my name is Katrice, and I am the Natal Chart Navigator. And I teach newly divorced women how to use their natal charts to heal and move through the 6 stages of divorce easier and with more grace. And so, for the navigators who are returning, hello, welcome back. And so, let's jump into it. Now, I'm going to give like, just going to kind of talk tonight. I'm not doing a forecast, I'm not like going over each house tonight. Um, because I feel like with this full moon, um, you're gonna know exactly where you're gonna need to release this. But um, if you have your natal chart, pull your natal chart so that you can see exactly what house this is going to be in. Um, what I can tell you is that it is going to obviously affect the house where you have Pisces in your chart. But you can also look to the house where Jupiter is in your chart, because Jupiter is the traditional ruler of Pisces. And right now, um, Jupiter is in Cancer, so it's going to be trining, but the house where you have Jupiter. So, for example, in my chart, I have Jupiter in the fourth house of home. So, this is going to, and it's Pisces in my eighth house. So, not only is this full moon going to have a lasting effects on my eighth house, which is transformation, but it's also going to have effects on my fourth house, where Jupiter resides. Okay. You can also look to where you have Neptune in your chart as well, um, which I have it in my fifth house. So you can look there to see where you have Neptune as well, because it's going to have some effects to that as well. Now, the reason that this Pisces full moon is going to be so potent is because one, it is an eclipse, but two, it is conjunct the North Node. Okay. Now, the North Node in astrology is like our North Star. Okay. It's where you're supposed to be going and focused in this life's journey. Okay. And so the South Node, which is in Virgo, which is the opposite energy of Pisces, the South Node is more like what you've already mastered. Um, it's like your comfort zone. And so the North Node is more so where you need to put your focus and not rely so much heavily on your South Node. Okay. So with this full moon, okay, it's going to be a lot about um, it's more of a spiritual release. Okay, because this is water energy, it's going to be more of the emotions and more spiritual. Now, Pisces energy is a deep emotional, emotionally sensitive energy. It's a very compassionate energy, empathetic, strong intuition, and deep imagination. Okay, it is a mutable water sign because it does end the season. The winter is the last sign of the winter season, right before we get into Aries, and so this full moon is really it's releasing any deep subconscious patterns have, any deep beliefs that you might have about yourself. It's letting go of attachments to people that are no longer serving you, beliefs that are no longer serving you, jobs that are no longer serving you, um, you know, habits or thoughts that you have about money, about yourself. It's asking you to let go of the things that have been holding you down and holding you back so that you can move forward and step into a more aligned version of yourself so that you can align more with people um, are who can um, who are more aligned with who you are. Um, Pisces energy can also be an energy where you escape, like it's an escapist type of energy, because it gets so overwhelmed with emotions. It can, you know, have you where you're like escaping, and so you that's something that you can release as well if you like have any addictions, because Pisces energy can be the energy of addictions of addicts. And so if you are addicted to any types of substances, whether it's like prescription drugs or alcohol or any street drugs or any natural like plant medicine, um, if it's an addiction for you, this is a time for you to want to let this go, okay? Because it's not helping you to move forward into a more higher version of yourself, okay? Now, when you talk about how you can use this energy within your divorce recovery, okay. This is a great time for you to tap into how can I let go of, um, how can I really truly fully let go of the past? How can I release um, the past so that I can live in peace? Because Pisces energy is also a very peaceful energy. It's not an energy like where it likes to, it's not an argumentative energy. It's a very peaceful energy. And so this would be a great time if you are really struggling with being angry at your ex spouse about what happened or what did. This is the perfect time for you to really just release all of that and um, allow spirit, allow God, however you resonate, um, to take over and take away the anger. Okay. Um, all right. So I want to kind of go over a ritual that I have that I kind of want to talk about, because I think that full moons first. Oh, before I get into that, first off, full moon, not full moons. Well, full moons really aren't a time for manifesting, but if there's anything that you are like trying to manifest or bring into your life, um, eclipses are not the time to do that because the energy is so chaotic. Really, this is a time for you to just um, to kind of to allow. Eclipses are more of a time for you to allow, whether it is a full moon eclipse or a new moon eclipse, lunar or solar, solar eclipses or lunar eclipses. It's a time for you to just allow things to be, because the energy is very chaotic. Okay. So if you are wanting to manifest anything, I would caution you not to try to manifest anything into your life, to just release and just allow things to be. This is a time for clearing out the space so that blessings can come through. Okay. Now, manifesting, if you did any manifesting rituals during the new moon in Virgo, that we had on the 24th, I believe it was, of August, then allow the what you manifested then, give that time to come in, because if you haven't already seen any evidence of those manifestations coming into your reality, you more than likely will probably start seeing some soon. Eclipses, you normally start seeing changes and stuff within like 6 months of the eclipse. So again, I caution you not to try to manifest anything during an eclipse, because you're probably not going to be happy with what you manifest. Okay. All right. So, um, with this Pisces energy, it is water energy. And so this is a good time for an emotional release and closure. So crying is probably going to be, you're probably going to do a lot of crying if there's a lot of stuck, stagnant energy within you. Crying is going to be one of the best ways to get those emotions up out of you. I can tell you today that I was so freaking emotional, and there's nothing wrong with me. Like, I am like happy, like I'm in a really great space in my life. But um there are, it was, for whatever reason, there was some emotions within me that I guess needed to come out, and so I just cried today, and that's okay. Also, uh when I was in the thick of my divorce recovery, getting in the shower um, was a really good way to just release um, emotions, to release how I was feeling. This full moon, because it is so watery with Pisces energy, crying and water are going to be the best ways for you to get out these emotions. Because it's just to let it to all flow, and don't stop yourself from crying. Like today I was just like, oh my God, why am I so emotional? Like, and it didn't dawn on me until like really just now, that okay, full moon in Pisces, duh. It's like all these emotions. And even though the full moon isn't until the weekend on the 7th, I always feel the energy a little early. So it was just very emotional for me today. And that's okay. You want to get these emotions out, because when you hold emotions in, not only do they stop you from moving forward, but they also can cause physical ailments within the body. Okay. And so that's not what you want. And so you want to release all of that energy and get it out. Okay. Um, a salt bath, some things you can do to release these emotions. Like I said, crying. If you need to cry, just cry it out. Journaling, or taking a salt bath, or soaking in the tub, or getting in the shower, taking a shower. If you live close to the beach, you may want to go to the beach and just sit in the water, get in the water, or you know sit by the water and just be by the water. You can journal your feelings, whatever you need to do to get the emotions out. Um, Another thing that you can do, that this really helped me um, during my divorce recovery, was to write a letter. Um, you can write a letter. You can write it to your ex. You can write it to yourself. I did both. I wrote a letter to him, and I just got out everything I felt. Now, I didn't give it to him. I wrote it and then I burned it. But it was just getting it all out, releasing the weight of what was unsaid or what was unresolved. And by doing that, it really helped me to be able to move forward. And I remember I did it on a Pisces full moon back in 2022. I did it on a Pisces full moon, and it really helped me to be able to move forward. So, that's something that you can do as well to get out those any emotions that you're still feeling or holding on to, any anger that you still have. It'll really help you to do that. Okay. Another thing that you can do during this full moon time is a spiritual cleansing ritual. Okay. Salt and water purification. So, like I was saying earlier, you can get you some Epsom salt or some, what it is, the salts, the different salts, the Dr. Teal's. I like Dr. Teal's. They sell it at Walmart. But the soak, you put it in the tub, and you can. I like they have one with hemp in it, and it's really good for the muscles, or for any like soreness. But they have all kinds. They have the one with the lavender. They have the ones with the rose petals. They have a bunch of them. They're really really nice. But you can just do like a soak, and you can, as you're soaking, you can visualize the water pulling away past pain from yourself and restoring peace, visualizing yourself just releasing all of the pain and the grief and the anger and the sorrow, and just restoring peace within yourself. Okay. um, Now, some people do moon water. Another thing that you can do with this Pisces new moon is placing a glass of water under the eclipse moon, and infuse it with your intentions for healing and new beginnings, and drink it the next morning. I don't do things like that, but I know a lot of people who do, and they say it works very well. Um, I I more so prefer things like releasing, because again, you don't really want to set any like try to manifest anything. um, you want to more so just kind of release it. And so if you're setting intentions for releasing, then that's fine. um, all right. Some other things that you can do is you can do some dream journaling, because Pisces energy, it is the sign of dreams. Okay. It is a very dreamy energy. I like Pisces energy. It's a very sweet and loving energy. But Pisces energy, it enhances dreams. Okay. It has sort of the same kind of significations as 12th house energy. 12th house is the house of the subconscious. And so Pisces energy, it enhances your dreams and your intuition. Okay. And so any dreams that you are having around this eclipse, you want to write them down when you wake up, because they may carry messages about your healing journey. They may also carry messages about steps that you need to take moving forward. Okay. And so if you have get you a little notebook, and if, from now until, say next week, any dreams that you have, if you remember them when you wake up, write them down, because so that you can, look at them, remember them, because they may carry messages about, steps you need to take in your healing journey, or things that you need to do moving forward. You can also do a guided visualization or meditation, where you imagine cutting cords of attachment that still tie you to your past life. Okay. See yourself freer, lighter, and more and whole. Um, because we get so caught up as women, we really get caught up in the wife and in the us, okay, in that identity. And so once that is no longer, it is really hard for a lot of women to cut themselves off from being a wife and cut themselves off from being, in partnership, okay, because from little girls, a lot of times, a lot of women are taught, to be a good wife and to be a good partner and all of this. And so, when that is no more, then it is like, okay, what do I do now? Where do I go? Who am I? Right. And so, this is a good time for you to really focus on tapping into who you are. Especially if you have Pisces in the first house, because first house is the house of identity, of self, and or if you are a Pisces sun, because the sun plays a lot into our identity as well. So this is going to be a really potent um, full moon for you, as well as if you are like a Pisces moon, Pisces moon, Pisces rising, Pisces sun. This is really going to be a very potent moon for you. And so if you are having a hard time with your identity and figuring out who you are now that you are no longer married, um, use this full moon to release the wife identity, to release the old identity, the old self, so that you can step into this new version of who you are. Okay. Now, Pisces energy can also bring clarity where we have been in denial. Okay. So reflect on where you may have been holding on to false hope or fantasies, or the what could have been, or what I could have done better. This eclipse is really asking you to release illusions so that you can live in your truth. Okay. Um, and if you have Pisces in the fourth house, in the eighth house, or the 12th house, especially, um, or the ninth house, because ninth house is beliefs, um, then you definitely want to use this um, full moon to release those illusions so that you can move forward into a new self, a new identity. Now, here's some affirmations if you want to write these affirmations down. Um, a few affirmations that may help you during this full moon. The first one is, I release what no longer serves me with grace and compassion. Pisces energy is a very compassionate energy, and you want to practice having self compassion towards yourself. Um, Another affirmation is, I trust that the ending of this chapter makes space for my new beginning. I really like that one. I love that one. Um, and then the last one is, my healing journey is unfolding in divine timing. Often, because I'm very guilty of this, wanting to rush our healing, wanting to be done, to feel better, quicker, faster. Why am I still holding on to this? Why can't I move forward? And everybody heals at their own pace, in their own time, on their when they're supposed to. Everything happens for a reason. And so that affirmation, my healing journey is unfolding in divine timing. If you are trying to rush, or kind of upset because you feel like you should be over it by now, um, then that affirmation is definitely one that you are going to want to really take to heart. Okay. All right. So, a few practical steps to help you to anchor the Pisces energy. Pisces energy can feel very dreamy. It is a romantic energy, a very sweet and compassionate energy. And it does an energy that kind of keeps you up in the clouds, keeps you up in your head. It is the modern ruler of Pisces is Neptune. So Neptune is a very dreamy energy. Um, and even Jupiter can have a kind of dreamy quality to it as well because it is so optimistic. But grounding is very, very important with this full moon. Okay. So after you do any of the release work that I talked about earlier, you some practical things for you to ground yourself is to declutter your home, a part of your home, to symbolizing clearing emotional space. So if there's like say your room is a perfect example. You can declutter a part of your room. If your room is cluttered, if you still have some things from when you were married that you no longer want. Things that you need to get rid of. If you haven't gotten rid of like old pictures of you and your spouse, um, or things like that, or maybe some old things that they have, you just haven't had the chance to like sit down and go through stuff. This would be the perfect time for you to do all of that, to pack up anything from your old life that you are wanting to get rid of, so that to clear it out, because those things hold energy, right? And if you are trying to move forward, it holds energy, keeping you locked into a space and a time in your life that you are no longer wanting to be in. And so you get rid of that stuff, okay? Um, you can revisit your self care plan. If you need to set boundaries with people, now is the time to do that, because Pisces energy can have an issue with boundaries, with setting boundaries, because it is so fluid, and it's so loving and kind, and people can take advantage of people with Pisces energy, unless you have like some strong like Aries in your chart. Like if you have strong fire in your chart, ain't nobody, and you Pisces, ain't nobody taking advantage of you. Ain't nobody taking advantage of you. My daughter is a Pisces sun, Pisces Mercury, but baby, she is a Aries rising, Aries Mars, Capricorn moon. Ain't nobody taking advantage of her. Period. Um, but Pisces energy can be, I've seen Pisces people get taken advantage of really bad, and so you may, if you have a problem with boundaries, you need to set some boundaries. Now is the time for you to, release being a people pleaser so that you can set some strong boundaries. Um, Update any, financial goals. If you are somebody who you're always giving financially, sometimes even to your detriment, then you need to update, you know, set up financial boundaries. If you have financial goals that you want to do, update those, and then map out your next steps for your independence. Because after a divorce, it can sometimes take a really long time to like get on track, to get yourself on track and get a routine going to where the trajectory of where you want to go, and that's okay. But this is a good time for you to kind of sit down and figure out, okay, what's not working in my life, and what do I want to see. And it's not really, it's not that you're trying to manifest anything. It's just that you are releasing what's not working so that you can be open and available for a new plan, for new things to come in to help you to get on the trajectory that you want to go. Okay. You cannot bring in anything new if there's no space. You have to release some things so that there's space so that you can bring in new things. Okay. Another thing that you can do is another practical step to anchor this energy is to create a ritual playlist with soothing uplifting music to help you to recenter yourself. Okay. Um, Music is great. Music was one of the things that really helped me when I was going through my divorce recovery. You know, it really helped because sometimes music, not sometimes, pretty much the majority of the time for me, music was I was able to like listen to a song and it like really spoke exactly how I was feeling in that moment. And so if you can, find some music to help you to uplift yourself, to kind of move out of if you're like in a very sad and depressive stage of your divorce recovery, this listening to music that can kind of help you to move out of that would be really, really good. Okay. And so that's what I have for you. Like I said, I wasn't really going to do like a go through each sign. I kind of wanted to just kind of talk about some things, how you can use this energy to kind of get you moving, so that you can release what needs to be released, so that you can be open and available for what's new that's going to be coming in with the Virgo solar new with the Virgo new moon solar eclipse that's taking place on the 21st. That one I am very excited for because it's going to be at 29 degrees of Virgo and my sun is at 29 degrees. So I know that one's going to be super, super powerful for me personally as a Virgo sun. So I'm really excited for that one. But yeah, so that's what I have for you tonight. So, again, remember, eclipses are about endings and release, okay, as well as full moons. And so, the things that I, gave you to do tonight is about reclaiming your energy, forgiving yourself if you need to forgive yourself, and creating space for what is next, okay? So if you found value with this, please do share it out so that others can find value as well. If you have any questions or leave me some questions or comments, I do respond to all questions, all comments. Um, you know, I really enjoy the interaction between you. All right. Now, if you want to learn how you can use the natal healing method to help you on your divorce recovery, then you can grab my free ebook from Breakup to Brilliance, the natal astrology healing method. It goes over the first three steps in the method. It's absolutely free. You can grab it at the link in the description of this live or on the channel's homepage. And then if you would like to book an energetic calibration reading with me, where I will go over houses 1, 4, 6, 8, and 12 and your Chiron placement, to help you, and how you can use those energies to help you energetically recalibrate so that you can move forward. You can definitely book a reading with me as well. Okay. And so until next time, remember that divorce is not your ending. It is your initiation into the most powerful version of yourself. All right. And so thank you all for watching, and I will see you on the next one.